Hey YouTube. So just a little quickie, some thoughts about the dome and the firmament on the flat Earth. Because I went back and I listened to the last video I made, and when I was talking about Mark Sargent and the Truman Show thing, I said wasn't sure about a dome, but actually there is a dome or a firmament. What I meant was I wasn't really sure what that Truman Show was. I never saw it, but I think I've seen a clip on it somewhere on YouTube, but I'm not sure what that means when he says we live in a Truman show, so that's why I said that about Mark Sargent, because I know, Dubay and people. If you saw my video the other day, I was talking about the shill stuff, but so anyway, yeah, it's obvious that there's a dome or a firmament, to me, for a bunch of reasons, but, when you look at all the ancient maps and models that all show a dome, and those people were smart. Unlike we're taught in public schools that evolution and we're getting smarter, but actually I think we're getting dumber. But you look at all the old ancient maps and models; they all have a dome on them, and you know there has to be something holding the atmosphere in. And the bottom line for me is also in the scriptures. So there's definitely a dome or a firmament. Now, what's interesting, they talk about I don't know if you guys have heard about the Libyan desert glass, which some people think is part of the firmament that fell down out of the rift. But then the Bible talks it being strong as a molten looking glass, where molten means not solid. So the firmament, and also in the Bible, the firmament is kind of more translated from what I gather. I'm not by any means any kind of scholar, but seems like it's can be translated like a tent, which is not a solid thing necessarily. So there's some kind of barrier there, but is it solid like glass or sapphire or that desert glass, or is it some kind of electromagnetic barrier to keep the water out, or something to do what the scientists call the Van Allen belts? That maybe isn't a solid thing like glass, but it's a definite barrier like a force field or something. Who knows? I mean, you don't want to end up being like the Globers and believing stuff without proof. Now, been I've never been able to actually put my hand on or see any solid pictures of a firmament or any evidence of a firmament. There is a little bit of stuff I saw from down in Antarctica that kind of looks like you might be looking up at a dome. I forget where I saw it, but to me, there's no real solid evidence of what the dome or the firmament really is made out of. And I think the closest we can come to is that Libyan desert glass. But just to clarify, in case anybody was watching the other day, out of all my all my huge fans, which it says I have like 50 views on my first video, but I only had a few comments, and I don't know if people are like, because a lot of times I'll check a video out, and after a minute or two I'll decide I don't want to watch it, and I assume that counts as a view. So I don't know if people are checking me out and then realizing that I'm not their cup of tea, so they tune out. But like I said, I really don't know anything about this stuff. But I'm kind of enjoying doing this. So anyway, those are my thoughts on the flat Earth dome and the firmament, in case anybody was interested about that. And so that's about it for today. And yeah, soon I'm going to start talking about my testimony about being a truther and the ultimate truth. So if anybody's interested, stay tuned. And just another day in a chicken house here. Zora takes very good care of her chickens. And if you see, sometimes she chases the roosters around. Here comes the rooster now. She may have to have a word with him, but she sees the roosters having their way with the hens, and she thinks that the roosters are hurting the hens, which I guess in a kind of a way they are, but she doesn't like that, so she breaks up chicken sex all the time. That's pretty funny. She's looking right at that rooster right now. So if he makes any move towards a hen, though, she'll go right after him. And of course, the roosters are always squabbling amongst themselves. I got 4 roosters here right now, and so they have a whole pecking order. That rooster we're looking at right now, he's lowest. Even though he's the biggest rooster, he's the youngest, and he's actually the lowest on the pecking order. In the world of roosters, a lot of times biggest doesn't mean anything. The littler ones are tougher. So that's rooster number 4 in the pecking order. Oh no, actually that's rooster number 2 actually. There's number 4 right there. He's the biggest and the youngest, and he hasn't really accumulated much of a harem yet. Usually the roosters get their favorites, and they get a certain number of hens that follow them around. But for a while there, he wasn't getting any. He's been getting some lately, though. I don't see number 1's probably outside. But yeah, that's number 2 eating the grain there. That's number 4. All right. So another day in the chicken house, the Flat Earth chicken house, and I was talking to exchange comments. If you look at my last video, I exchanged comments with James Flat Taxi, and he said that was a good idea that subliminally we were going to get flat Earth eggs. And I started thinking about it. You know, if you think about a fried egg, it kind of looks like the Flat Earth model. You know, you got the dome in the middle, the white ice around the edge. So it's kind of interesting. All right. Take care, you guys. Have a great day. I love you all. Bye.